Yeah, I've been quite happy over this past year. I've been doing mad, going hard into a few mentors that I take advice from. And I've been reading a few books as well, so I'm happy about that as well. Not necessarily happy for reading books, I'm happy that I found books that I like. So, and what happened was, yeah, I kind of came to a thing where it's almost like a quote I made. Well, I don't know, I haven't heard it, but it's about raising your level of sentiment. No, raising your level of value to match your level of sentiment. And I was kind of thinking, yeah, this is kind of true. I live by these words. I've been living by them for about past like 2 months now. So it kind of came to a point where I can't even rest up until my level of value matches my level of sentiment. And I do want to go into what value means in different things, obviously, because there's no point me coming here saying anything if you don't know what value means. Well, to me, what value to me means, then if you do that, then you can kind of understand where I'm going with it. So the next video, I think, definitely will explain more of it. So yeah, yeah. So when it comes out to the pillars of value, well, I didn't even tell you it's the 4 pillars of value, but I'm gonna tell you it's called the 4 pillars of value. So I call it the 4 pillars of value because it's like engineering people. We just make notations for ourselves. It's for me personally. I made it for myself. I didn't see it in any books. I didn't see it through any mentor, any one mentor. But ultimately, being as is not from any one mentor, I need to explain it because I can't just direct you to the video or re-upload the video. So the first of the pillars of value will be influence. Second will be experience. Third will be capital, what's like money, but slight variation. Last one is knowledge, in that order. So in order of importance, 1 to 4. And over the what I'm gonna do is I've got a challenge. I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I'm gonna do a challenge with myself, where for the rest of December, I'm gonna be finding different ways to explain it and put it in the best possible ways, so you can see it from 2 points of view. So you can see it from, okay, what type of like everyone has different sentiments. So ultimately, what type of sentiment requires this type of value? So as I see quite commonly, okay, if I wanted to share my friends, so my level of sentiment might be to help my mum, right? To what degree do you want to help your mum? And then you will go on to what values do you need to bring in. So if you're talking about straight help your mum, more than likely you're talking about capital value. To what degree is capital value? Then to what knowledge do you have to back that then to get to the real way of it? How do you really want to help her out? Is it just that you just want to pay her bills? If that is it, you can do that from a job and then so on and so forth. Is it to take care of her, take her across the world with yourself? That means now you think about that. With yourself means you take time off and you have enough for two and whoever you bring along with you. So now you have to think of it from that point of view. So now you need to, what type of knowledge base do you have that even allows that to be sustainable? And then it goes further and further and further. So it just depends on the level of value. I can't really treat everything Instagram. Fuck it, you're sliding. I'll put into multiple videos. You'll be sliding, but I want me because I believe in provide like explaining value, so that because when you see it from my point of view, when you are aware of it from my point of view, you can then go on about however you want to go on about it. But ultimately, it's another viewpoint, and I personally live by it, and I'm a very pragmatic person. So if I believe in it so much, there's no point just saying it as, oh, raise your level of value to match your level of sentiment, and then just leave it at that, all up in the air. People are like, yeah, that's very smart, and they're never explaining it. So yeah, so I want to go through the explaining part more so than just having the quote up. But ultimately, that being said, I'm gonna go into another explanation. So personally, for me, I have a sentiment to actually want to put people on. So when it actually comes to putting people on, I've really been putting people on, like, to get to higher than they even think in themselves. That is put on more times than not. So ultimately, the way how I feel about it is that if I have also what I do with that type of sentiment I have is on my page, I will just throw up someone's song or something, an artist more times. Actually, even drawing artists as well, just to promote them. My sentiment, the reason why I do it is so that they can blow, go far. People just rush over there, buy up their things. Anyone, like in my mind, everyone's gonna reshare it. Not every in my mind, but to what I really want the sentiment to be, that's what really needs to happen. Everyone needs to share it. This and that needs to happen. But ultimately, I'm here with what? 900 followers now. So if anybody clicked on that video now and watched it, so my level of sentiment was to put them on, change their life. My infrastructure doesn't allow that. The steps I take in my infrastructure doesn't even allow that either. The steps I'm taking to build the infrastructure doesn't allow that. I didn't allow that, I'll say. For when I come, for how can I explain it? For I didn't, at least in the 900 followers, make it of 900 influencers, other influencers that are high in the game of distributing music or getting in other people in like connections. So that's not even a part of it. That's not even a part of the infrastructure of the influence I have. I don't, at the bare minimum, they were all average listeners, average music listeners. 900 of them go onto your video, just say the best case scenario. 900 of them goes into your video and watches it. My guy, they're still pissed. I can't lie to you. Like 900 videos, 900 views, 900. You don't even see a K on it. You don't even see a K on your video. Imagine that. You don't even see a K on your video. You see 900. You're seeing digits, full digits on your video. You'll be grateful. You'll be happy. Like, yeah, because obviously be grateful and happy that someone's actually trying to put you on. But ultimately, the level of sentiment that I have isn't just to be there to be, oh yeah, I'm showing my support. It's really, because more times than not, I will support somebody and I won't even throw up their, like, I wouldn't even, like, my account's in private, so they wouldn't even get to see it properly. It's not, I'm not doing like, yeah, I mean like really and truly, they don't even get to see it properly, so it's the thing where, what am I really trying to like do? I want to put them on, I really want them to blow. Is my infrastructure even built for that? No. So I'm not just trying to do it to show my support, I'm trying to do it so that I can really just put them on. Ultimately, the only way that can happen is if my influence is filled up with people that are big influencers in the industry that they want to be a partake in and go big in and go clear in and would enjoy that type of music at least, and also having a vast following, millions of followers. So when I post something up, many people see it, not just 900 people see it. If 900 people see it, if 900 people click it. So that's the way how I think about the level of sentiment to match my level of value. What am I really trying to do? What was the reason I even done that in the first place? And do I really care that? So when it comes down to it, everyone might think, yeah, want them to blow. Then you match your level of value to sentiment. Then you think, is it worth it? Like when you go to give money to a person on the street, what's your level of sentiment to give someone money on the street? Is it for them to accumulate some money and then get lunch? Is it for them to change your lives? Is it for you to not feel guilty? Is it for, like, you're not feeling guilty that you're in a position where you can help and you do have a spare change and you're thinking, if I don't do this, like, I'd love it to be reciprocate to me, then that's great. that's your level of sentiment, then that's what you're doing it for. But then there's other people might like look at it like, yo, I can't bear to see these people on the street. I want to change their lives. The same people that will do like there's like food trucks and different stuff, and they want to like put them on, change their lives. So to what sentiment do you do something? So their value was, oh, I want to keep you eating. So their sentiment was, I want to keep them eating. Their value was, oh, why don't I cook for them to really keep them eating? So there's that part of it. There's other ways you can go about it. And ultimately, to do that, to do that type of set, oh, I want to cook for them, that means you had to amass more than, well, you had to amass influence and capital, because to cook for loads of people, you have to influence loads of people in your own way. You have not in your own way. Let me break down influence and capital actually, because they both have two parts to them. So influence has two parts to them to itself. So one of it is who can I influence and how I influence them, and the other one is who can I get in connections with? Who's my connections? Who's my contacts? Not necessarily like a hard contact, like I can build this person up, yo, have a long conversation. But do I even have their number? If I send message, would message get seen, and would they reply? That type of thing. Like would I even be able to send them a message with a high probability of them even replying? So that's like your followers. So that's your followers. Then the other part was, who can I really influence? How can I get my point across? Like that's then a you part of your influence. So can I speak properly? Can I portray my convey can I convey my message across to in a manner that is actually understandable, agreeable? Am I agreeable? Am I putting things okay then. Memory ran out of that. Boy, man said memory ran out of battery. Yo, I'm definitely letting you not hear that. That's a mad one. Fam. Yo, way back point. So I realized it was a long one, so I'm gonna put some of this up on Instagram, YouTube. You know, let me reset myself quick. Alright then, so what I was saying is how you can necessarily speak to people. So now that's your level of influence. So how can I influence this situation to come into fruition? How can I then, so you know how they say there's 1,000,001 ways to say something. There's only a few ways to say it correctly. So that's essentially that part of influence. So that's, again, that part. So I did say, I realized in the video as well, and as I was speaking, I realized that I would have forgotten as well. The second part that I wanted to explain the difference between was capital and money. So capital and money, it comes with a mindset. So I would say, after this, watch Grant Cardone, forever watch Grant Cardone, forever and back, to the world and back, Grant Cardone, watch Grant Cardone. So when it comes down to capital, money, so money is just like, yeah, I got bread comes in, bread goes. That's money. Bread comes in, bread goes. There's going to be net zero. There's going to be a net of zero after the end of the year, or you might save some money. So money is either spent or is saved. Capital is different. Capital, you don't save money. You stash money. You stash it because you know you're going to invest it. So stashing, putting aside with the mindset that this is going to get invested. So that's the basics of it. You can then take it a step further, what I am planning to do. So when I make money through my entrepreneurial activities, and as I said before, entrepreneur for me personally means I'm making and creating jobs for others. So when I'm making money, and then I'm gonna be living broke. I want to do things big. I want to help I want to put on bare people. So for me to put on bare people means I need to make a lot of money. That's what it means, really and truly. I can't just hire. If I want to hire X amount of people, I can't just pay them all a nug each every single year just because I'm not looking to make money. I'm looking to make money because that's what entrepreneurs do. They need to add value somewhere, receive their value back. So whatever the value that they wanted to exchange for money, then I provide that value. So that's where Freelance Uni is there. So Freelance Uni will allow people to find value in students with the valuable skill set that they seek. If I'm looking for a animator, which I am, so if I'm looking for an animator, I will pay you. That gets for me, cool. And then if somebody else is looking for let's say a music recorder, producer, they can find that producer, boom, gig, do business there, and I'll just get paid for the contact they had to source. This happens in all over university. Everybody's looking for something for themselves. So this allows people to do things, not just do things for themselves. It makes it simpler and a lot more convenient to actually want to do something for yourself, to actually knowing that, yes, when I go into this venture, at least I know I'll be able to source the people with the necessary skill sets that I want. So when I want to do this, let's say I want to make an app, right? And then for this app, you're going to need developers. You might need design for the UI and the UX. People study this. They come to university to get this course. I'm pretty sure some of them would want to get paid to do what they do. And I'm pretty sure some of them would also want to get paid now to do what they do. Build their experience so when they leave and have a portfolio backing them saying, yeah, I'm not just saying, yeah, I studied this. I'm saying I does this. I've done this already whilst at university. Also, you want to see some, what's that thing called? When you do something when you're on your own accord. What's that thing when you do something on your own accord called? Flipping initiative, that's it. So what, you want to see some initiative? I hopped onto Freelance Uni, created my premium portfolio, so that people could see what I do. I put myself out there, advertise myself. I invest in myself so that people could find me. I get found, I get used for the value that I can provide. And then from that value I provide, I got paid. Value for value, equivalent exchange. Full Metal Alchemist is not that. But ultimately, the way how I'm going on about this is that that's the part of, so capital is more about the investing mindset. So when it comes down to money coming in, and then I'm not going to be saving money. I'm not even going to be, okay, as I said, watch Grant Cardone. I'm not even going to be buying a house. I don't think, the only way I'm buying a house is if it's in Jamaica. That's it. Jamaica or some other place where I understand the rents are not going to be mad, but it's a nice place, like a land place, and somewhere that I want to go over, and then different country, not here. Here, I'll be renting. America, I'll be renting. Canada, I'll be renting. Renting. I'm setting my life up for cash flow. That means cars, renting until it's a car that I want. Yeah? Unless it's a hefty car. Right? Not a Beamer, not even a Rari. I'll rent a Rari the way how it is. Rent it for 2 years and then done. Not lease. Listen, not lease. Rent. What's that? Is it lease or rent? What's that one when you have that contract and then it's like 2 years, upgrade the model, 2 years. End of the day, if my idea is to get this top spec car and then get another top spec car and then keep getting top spec cars. Why would they even buy it? Why would they even buy it? It makes no, it don't even make sense. So whilst I'm setting my life up for cash flow, and I'm renting everything, money comes in, money goes out monthly. I can stash. That doesn't mean I need to stash something. That doesn't mean I need to buy it. And once I stash it, I invest it. Once I stash enough, I invest it. How do I invest? Watch Grant Cardone. I'm not speaking further than that. This is how I'm setting up my life. So I can speak about that. I won't give advice on anything that I haven't done myself. So when it comes down to actually talking about the investment side of anything, I'm not going to speak about it until I've done it. I've invested peanuts, what, a rack and a half, but ultimately, that's not like, that's practically a bank. Let's put it that it's practically a bank. Get me returns, but ultimately it's practically a bank. But forward from that, so that's the difference between like money. So money, as I said, it just comes in and goes. And when you have capital, is having that mindset of investment. So that's why I wanted to say having money. And also when you have capital, you have that mindset of investment, meaning when you think about it, you would think about being as valuable as you possibly can. You don't think about not being as valuable as you possibly can. So you don't link, when you link money to it, if you call it money, you'll kind of put a cap onto it. Like, yeah, I only need this much. Well, to be honest, at the bare minimum, I would say, to match it to your level of sentiment. So we know if you are saying, yeah, I want to live this type of life, it just needs this much money, this much, but I do want to put on my friends, in fact, I want to put on my family, I want my family to just live so great. I want to help all my family members. If you set your life up, so now your value, as I said, your level of influence, your level of experience, your level of capital, and your level of knowledge. So okay, if you have no knowledge, you can't teach anybody anything. If you know experience, you have no right to teach anybody anything. Pretty much. Then it comes on to the capital side of it. When somebody wants to do something for themselves, can you invest in them? Again, not investing in them doesn't mean it's a bad thing, because it allows them to get very, what's that word? Very creative. So like what I'm doing is I get very creative with what I can do, being as not many people, yeah, I've got people that will invest in me, in my family, but, well, not loads of them, but I do know there's few, so I'm not gonna badmouth that at all. But ultimately, the way how I'm going on with it is that, yes, there is a level to where you want to not necessarily just shower them in capital to start up, to retard their kind of, what's that thing? I just said it, creativity in getting to the same goal. Because when you go on that journey with the creativity, and you leverage it properly, you can get a lot of value out of it. Experience is one of them. So now, what did capital allow you to do? Capital, more times than not, a lot of it allows you to now, see that experience I was talking about? You can buy experience, so you can hire somebody that can do it yourself. So, when they have too much capital, they'll say, yeah, I just don't need to do editing videos and stuff, the starting point. So now, they just hire that out. If that person's whatever, and then now they depend on that. They depend on this and this and this and this. It's great. When you scale, you can get less and less dependent on yourself and focus down on things you can do. But ultimately, you like that to be at a point where it's your capital. So there's that point, but there is that point too, wanting to kind of provide a capital leverage for your family. But that being said, that's the lowest part. That's the most like negative side of being able to provide capital. That's the most negative side of being able to provide capital for your family. The most positive is everything else you can think of. Pretty much. So other than them creating dependency on you, if it's truthfully about you being able to add, like if it's truthfully about you being able to give capital to the right people. That not just saying, oh, my man's hungry. No, my man is out of a job. Let me just pay for him and just keep his life going. There's that, then there's not that. See, but don't forget, that's capital number 3. That's why I don't call it the most important value. Up top is influence. Influence means, okay, my man that just came out of a job, I can find him another job. Why? Because I got connections. What type of job? No, I don't want to do this type of job. Cool, I know another person. What do you want to get into? I know them all. I know them all. You know when they say it's not who you know is what, not what you know is who you know? Very true. That being said, nobody said you're not allowed to. There's no cap on who you're not allowed to learn. There's no cap on who you're allowed to know. Unless you're putting yourself in, unless you got, let's say, the wrong type of people. Wrong type. If you, unless actually, even them trying to say it, like I got a few of them, and I can know every side. Unless you put yourself in a position where you can't necessarily communicate with everybody safely, right? That's a you problem still. You need to get out of that situation. Well, what am I to say? But ultimately, it's not a fun situation to be in because, yeah, it's not a fun situation to be in. And it's not beneficial for your value. It's stunts it. So, that being said, that's why influence again is higher than capital. So that's the reason why I jumped from capital to influence is because I wanted to explain about why influence is so much higher than capital. As I said, if you want to go into lawyer, I can get if my nephew wants to go into be a lawyer now, and I know a few lawyers about, they can get him an internship. Is this what you really like? Give them actual experience. Is this what you really like? Seeing it is what you like. So you want to go on with this? Oh, I want to try something else. Like the way how we set it up and we make it, the way how I've had my life, the way how my life being set up is being blessed. My dad, very hard on influence. I don't know where he got all this influence from, but he has quite a good level of influence. Very good level of influence. So he allowed me to try a lot of things. But that being said, I see, actually, there must be someone out there that feels that the way they've been, in the influence that they have, ultimately, what happened was I forgot some things and I forgot where I was going with it. So, what I will say is there's a lot more to speak about. I only went into two and like 3, 4 examples. So, that being said, what I have been doing, and I not have been doing, what I just thought about last night when I was sleeping, to do a challenge. So I think it's gonna be called either ChidWorld Value Plug Challenge or Value Plug Challenge. I think it's just gonna be the Value Plug Challenge. Car. I want a jingle. You know the ones there. It goes ChidWorld the Value Plug. Bang. ChidWorld the Value Plug. ChidWorld the Value Plug. ChidWorld the Value Plug. Blah! But that's definitely not going to be the jingle. But yeah, it's called ChidWorld the Value. No, it's good. It's pretty cool. Value Plug Challenge. So it's for December to the end of December. Ultimately, it's going to be on my Instagram. I think I will post up on YouTube as well. And it's going to be going through different scenarios. So different scenarios where your influence, different scenarios where your level of value needs to match your level of sentiment. And I'm going to go through the 4 pillars of, in that I'm going to go through each day a pillar of value. So that matches a sentiment. So as I said, one might be your parent. Your sentiment might be your parent. Boom. I'm going to talk about the values within that. So it's not just going to be, I'm not sure, I'm deciding if it's going to be a thing where I'm going to pick a sentiment and run through it with the value, or is it going to be pick a sentiment and match it to one of the pillars of the value and then go through it each day? Ultimately, I only know, cool. I'm going to go through with, I'm going to record it ultimately. I'm going to record it as a sentiment. So from a sentiment point of view, ultimately, I'm going to record it from a sentiment point of view and then go through it. And however I upload it is however I upload it. But that being said, when it comes down to it, so follow my gram, follow my Instagram, follow my Twitter. That's going to be ChidWorld. You're going to see that on everything. YouTube, subscribe to that. Obviously, the bell notification, because you might not like this one, but you're going to like the next one. If you don't like the next one, you might like the next one. So you have to be here to know if you're going to like it. So definitely subscribe, follow up my Instagram, follow up my Twitter, and put on the bell notification so you know if you like it or not. That being said, last thing, definitely drop comments on your sentiment, because I only know and sentiments to me, because that's what a sentiment is. It's personal. So drop your sentiment, and so that I can actually go into it and see if I can break it down and see if I can add a bit of layers to something for you personally. And that would be great, because I definitely need some. So yeah, definitely in the comment section, drop some of your sentiments so that I can go into it and like extrapolate some values, the values and the levels of values that can match to the level of a certain sentiment. Again, the sentiments that I went through was parent, well, mother, putting somebody on in the music industry, putting somebody on as your family. And so that's the ones I can think of, because that's close to me. That's my level of sentiment. Other people have things that I can't even think about because I don't look at them as a sentiment. Like when I look at, like somebody might talk about veganism, like that's not my sentiment, but I can put in levels to it. But then again, food is one of my sentiments, and yeah, I'll talk about food one time soon as well. So yeah, definitely drop your sentiment, because definitely drop your sentiment, because I really want to speak about different things, and I'm gonna need things to speak about. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but yeah, go do that. Again. You know the value, blah, blah. Yeah, kind of like, do you like it? Yo, I